For years, enterprises treated data governance and AI governance as two separate operating models. Data platform teams secured tables, schemas, and pipelines, while data science teams registered models in isolated workspaces with limited enterprise visibility. That separation no longer works. If your catalog cannot explain how raw data became features, how features train models, and how those models are governed and observed in production, then you do not have an AI governance architecture. You have disconnected control points. In this video, we will look at how Unity Catalog extends governance beyond tables into feature engineering, model lifecycle management, lineage, and modern AI observability, so the full path from data to model becomes part of a single governed control plane. Welcome to Architect Mindset, your blueprint for modern systems. Let's start with the foundation of machine learning, features. In older platforms, feature stores often felt like proprietary site systems. In Unity Catalog, the architecture is very cleaner. A feature table is fundamentally a governed delta table inside the standard 3-level namespace. It lives in your cloud storage, but it is governed, discovered, secured, and tracked through Unity Catalog. Now architecturally, that matters because Unity Catalog does not create a separate governance island for ML features. It extends the same control plane you already use for tables and schemas, while attaching ML-specific semantics that makes those tables usable in training and inference workflows. Feature tables require defined primary keys such as customer ID, account ID, etc. These keys are what allow features to be joined consistently into training sets and looked up correctly during inference. In Unity Catalog, any delta table with a primary key constraint can serve as a feature table. When feature value changes over time, Unity Catalog supports time series feature tables with timestamp keys. This enables point-in-time correct lookups, so the model trains on the feature values that were actually available at the moment the label event occurred, rather than accidentally pulling future data and introducing leakage. A standard governed table sits in cold cloud storage, which is too slow for real-time applications. But when you flag a governed table as a feature store, Unity Catalog can automatically mirror and sync those features to an ultra-low latency online table for millisecond lookups during the real-time model serving. The next design principle is feature computation. Unity Catalog governs features, but it does not compute them. Feature computation still happens in the execution plane using standard Databricks engines such as batch pipelines, streaming pipelines, and real-time functions. Unity Catalog governs the assets and their metadata. Compute engines create and refresh the values. For historical, aggregated, or slow-moving features, example average customer spend over the last 30 days, consider a Databricks Lakeflow job running on a regular cadence like hourly or daily, reads the raw data from a source Unity Catalog table, runs aggregations, and overrides or appends the result to the 3-level namespace feature table. For features that need to update constantly based on live events, example number of login attempts in the last 10 minutes or so, computation shifts to a streaming model. A continuous stream reads from a message queue like Kafka, event hubs, etc. through a Unity Catalog volume. It computes windowed aggregations on the fly and streams the output straight into the delta feature table. Sometimes computing features ahead of time is impossible because the feature requires data only available at the exact millisecond the request happens. Example, distance between the user's current GPS coordinate and the merchant. In these cases, feature computation shifts from stored data to on-demand logic. So instead of calculating values and saving them to a table, you define and register a Python function into Unity Catalog. When a real-time model serving endpoint is called, it executes this function on the fly using the live request payload, combines it with any pre-computed features from an online store, and feeds it to the model. Once features existed as governed assets, the next question is how they are consumed consistently. That is where the FeatureEngineeringClient matters. FeatureEngineeringClient acts as the primary programmatic engine that bridges Unity Catalog feature tables with machine learning models. Its primary value is decoupling feature definition from model consumption, ensuring that the exact logic used for training is automatically replicated for inference without rewriting the code. That reduces one of the most common failure modes in production ML, training serving skew. Instead of rebuilding feature lookup logic inside application code, the client packages feature metadata with the model so feature retrieval remains aligned across both stages of the lifecycle. Operationally, the feature engineering client handles feature retrieval, join orchestration, and training set creation. While it supports joining multiple tables, architects should avoid over-fragmenting features into too many tables and instead design cohesive, reusable feature domains rather than creating one table per feature. From an environment strategy perspective, the client relies entirely on a shared Unity Catalog metastore across workspaces. Do not isolate features by using separate metastores per environment. Instead, create a single central regional metastore and create environment-specific catalogs. The client can safely read and write across these environments based on user or service principal execution contexts. The client generates a physical object in Unity Catalog called feature specification. This specification maps primary keys to their corresponding feature tables. When the model is deployed, the serving endpoint uses this blueprint to dynamically retrieve features, eliminating the need for hard-coded table paths in the application code. Now let's move from features to models. In the legacy Databricks architecture, the workspace model registry was an isolated component tied to a single workspace. But with the advent of Unity Catalog, the registry now operates as a unified engine, elevating machine learning models to first-class governed objects inside the catalog itself, alongside tables, views, and volumes. This evolution marks a game-changing shift in how the models are managed. Integrated natively into Unity Catalog, the MLflow Model Registry treats models as standard secureable objects, allowing governance through the same familiar SQL privileges which are used for tables. Models can be trained in an isolated development workspace, registered to a central catalog, and safely promoted to a locked-down production environment using automated CI/CD tools like Databricks Lakeflow Jobs or Terraform without duplicating underlying binaries. For enterprise architects, this means models can now be governed with fine-grained privileges across multiple workspaces and business units. Access policies, audit logs, and compliance controls are unified, enabling organizations to meet regulatory requirements without building custom governance layers across machine learning assets. The legacy MLflow registry forces you to use 4 static stages: none, staging, production, and archived. This caused structural issues for architects building multi-workspace deployment pipelines. Example, a staging workspace pointing to a model marked production. Unity Catalog replaces stages with model aliases. Aliases acts as dynamic mutable pointers to specific model versions. This allows flexible environment tagging where you can create custom tags like champion, challenger, etc. This also enables zero downtime promotions. Example, when your CI/CD pipeline verifies a new model version, it shifts the champion alias to the new version. Any production model serving endpoints targeting at champion immediately begins routing traffic to the new model without a code deployment or cluster restart. The crown jewel of this entire architecture is end-to-end AI lineage. Because data and models share the exactly same catalog engine, Unity Catalog tracks their relationships implicitly. It records precisely which version of a feature table was used to train a specific model deployment. When a model is logged through the FeatureEngineeringClient, the lineage between the model, the feature tables, and the underlying upstream data sources is automatically captured and surfaced in the lineage view of the Catalog Explorer. This is critical for regulatory audits. Example, which raw data influence this particular loan denial model? If a model is trained directly on a table without using the FeatureEngineeringClient, lineage can still be improved by explicitly logging the input dataset with MLflow functions. This flags the exact delta table snapshot used for training, prompting Unity Catalog to generate the table-to-model lineage automatically. If your client uses Python user-defined functions, UDFs, to compute real-time on-demand features, the code and dependencies of that function are also bound to the model's lineage graph. If a data pipeline breaks or a data corruption error is discovered upstream in a bronze storage block, you don't have to guess which AI endpoints are impacted. You look at the dependency graph, run an instant impact analysis, and trace the thread directly down to the running application version. Enterprise architectures often isolate dev, staging, and prod environments into separate workspaces. Now, because the registry is centralized in the Unity Catalog metastore, a model running inference in a production workspace retains its lineage link back to the training tables located in a development catalog. So far, we have discussed governance of assets and lineage between them. But modern AI systems add another requirement: runtime observability. As we transition from predictive modeling to generative AI and complex agentic systems, knowing what an application did is no longer enough. You need to see how it thought. Databricks now supports storing MLflow trace data in Unity Catalog using OpenTelemetry format, which is currently in public preview. This is important because trace data no longer has to live only inside an isolated experiment control plane. It can live as governed data in customer-managed storage, queryable through Databricks SQL, and controlled through Unity Catalog permissions. Access to these evaluation traces is governed strictly through schema-level permissions. This means security auditors can check query histories, latency data, and vector search parameters directly from Databricks SQL to verify that your AI agents are not leaking sensitive corporate data or hallucinating out of bounds. Unlike standard workspace MLflow, where you can delete individual traces via an API or UI button click, deleting individual traces is not supported natively for Unity Catalog Trace Storage. For any reason, if you must remove data, let's say for GDPR or compliance, you must manually delete the rows from the underlying delta table using standard SQL queries. The deeper lesson here is that AI governance should not be designed as a separate layer bolted on after model development. In Databricks, Unity Catalog is increasingly becoming the common governance plane that spans data assets, feature assets, registered models, lineage, and now even AI trace observability. Now that we have mastered how to secure the software assets inside the catalog, we need to talk about the physical storage underneath them. So join me next week as we move to managing external locations and credential management, where we'll do a hard technical deep dive into cloud IAM roles, storage credentials, and how to lock down your cloud storage native parameters securely. Subscribe to keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.